All right, recording has started. First off, Celeste, I know I told you this earlier, but thank you so much for hopping on with us today. Everyone's super excited, and I know that it's a super busy time of year for everyone, so thank you all for hopping on. I know lots of people have some cool stuff going on today. So thank you very much
Absolutely
for doing that. I did want to mention, most of y'all know, Celeste is my upline. I can't believe we're closing in on almost 3 years of being ambassadors. We're like in between 2.5 and 3 years. But I know a lot of people, and this really has nothing to do with leadership, but a lot of people have been talking about this lately, so I just kind of wanted to mention it. I watched Celeste, who is one of my good friends. I did life with Celeste. Like, our kids are best friends. We hung out. I did life with Celeste before Plexus. And so I watched her and Ariel and Rainey Anderson and several other people take Plexus probably for about 8 months before she signed up. And I thought that they were absolutely crazy. And my point of telling y'all that is so many people say no at first. And if when they started 8 months prior, if you would have told me, I would have even taken a sip of it, I would have thought you were absolutely crazy. And I'm telling you because I don't want you to give up when somebody says no. We know that the statistic is most people take 6 to 7 times to say yes, but it is true. Celeste also, Jen tried to get her to do the business for that same amount of time that they were taking the products. And Celeste said no. She was just sending all of these people to Jen. And so I wanted to start off with that because here we are. Celeste is double diamond and I'm diamond. And we both said no. And so I just want y'all to know that no does not mean forever no. And that just to keep going and don't let that get you down. So anyway, so that has nothing to do with leadership, but I just wanted to throw that in there because I had both of us on. So anyway, Celeste, you want to just say hello and then we'll get started on our questions?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is so fun. I love that we can get on here in the middle of the day and, chat about leadership and just answer some questions that you guys have. I consider it an honor to even be asked. I love Beth, and she's a great leader, and you guys have a great upline, and I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about her. So we're blessed for sure. Just to get to do this together, like she said, our kiddos are friends and our families are friends, and it's just one more perk to be able to do this together. Do I need to smile?
Yes, everybody smile. We're taking it. Sorry, I'm not trying to be distractive.
No, I love it. That's all I got.
Okay. All right. So I asked Celeste to hop on this call today, and we're going to talk about leadership and taking ownership of your team. I personally think that leadership starts when you have one team member or one ambassador. You need to step up to the plate and become a leader. And how do you do that? Well, why don't we ask the one that's at the very top of the company? Did it probably the fastest of anyone ever in record time. Our leader, Celeste. So what we've done is we have a list of questions, and we're just going to kind of go through it and talk through it and go from there. So anyway, so Celeste, what do you think makes a good leader?
So I've got a few points that I want to go through. It's the kind of characteristics of a leader. You hear the word thrown around a lot, but what does it actually mean? And I'm going to tell you what I think it means for me and for why we've had the success that we've had with our Plexus business. I think it starts with your integrity, your morals, and your values. A leader has integrity, strong morals, and good values. And especially in this business, those of us that are having success, it's because people trust us, because we're honest, because we're sincere, and because we're caring. So if you have a strong moral compass, people are going to be way more likely to listen to you, way more likely to trust you, and more likely to jump on board with what you're doing based on your integrity. The second thing that I think is hugely important, and Beth, jump in if you've got anything to banter, because I kind of get on a roll and I just talk.
Yeah. I'll jump in on you.
Okay. Yeah, don't hesitate. You can be like, dude, shut up. I've got something to say.
You're good.
It's not going to hurt my feelings. The second thing after moral integrity would have to be positivity. I'm sure Beth would agree with me. We've been doing this for 2.5 years, and I can speak from experience where I have seen leaders that have gotten negative and gotten bogged down with that negativity, And it's been to the detriment of their team. Positivity breeds positivity. And I said this at an event I did last Sunday for Cheyenne Weeble. Y'all, that does not mean that we as leaders have to be fake, okay? By all means, my life is not all rainbows and cotton candy and, beautiful. I have a mom that's got Alzheimer's, and it's real and it's ugly and it's raw. But you know what? I choose to find the positive spin even on that. My mom knows who we are. That's positivity. It stinks to see your mom go through this, but to make the decision to go, but man, how blessed are we? She knows who we are. That's just an example of turning a situation. It doesn't mean you have to be fake. We're all going through hard things, God doesn't promise us it's going to be easy, but he does promise us that if we rely on him, we can get through it. So positivity breeds positivity. I'm talking through your life, through your social media, through your meetings, through how you train your team. You've got to keep it positive. The next one.
I think that even goes on to not just your team, but like people wanting to be a part of you. Like, I know that I'm not going to personally associate myself with somebody that's negative all the time, because what's that going to do? That's going to bring me down. And so I agree, like, even in the hard times and the struggles, yeah, it's real. The last couple months have been real. I mean, we get that. But if you as a leader start talking negatively to your team, even one person, then that spiral effect is crazy, detrimental. People, you're going to start losing people doing that. I truly believe that. So,
and another thing to touch on that with that positivity is not necessarily from a leadership perspective, but from a perspective of you want to be somebody that people are attracted to. Y'all all know you hang out with those friends that when you leave, you don't feel better about yourself. You don't feel positive and uplifted. You want to be the kind of person that people are attracted to you. That's how you're going to be able to share Plexus with them, is if you're living a life that people are attracted to what you're doing. And positivity is a huge part of that.
Yeah. Awesome.
So the next one, characteristics of a leader, is going to be a heart for helping others, and help others succeed, whether it's through the business or with the product. We are, as Plexus ambassadors, as a whole, especially our team, a group of people that are genuine in our desire to help others. We're successful because we have that desire before Plexus. We're loving on people through the lives that we lead, the lives that we led, and we continue to do that with our Plexus business. So having a heart for others is a huge part of being a true leader and being a good leader. The next thing that I think is massive, and it's something that I can't even wrap my brain around it sometimes why people don't have it, and it's firm belief and commitment. I obviously, Beth and I have belief. We are committed, we have belief, but let me tell you, we have belief because we've seen the thousands and thousands of lives changed because we made the decision to do Plexus. If you're struggling as a leader to find your belief, man, get on my page, get on Beth's page, go to the Plexus Journeys testimonials page. You cannot not have belief when you read those testimonies. You just can't. Amber believes. That's right. So, you can't not believe if you're reading those testimonies. Something else as a leader that I think is important is being committed. I've been talking about this a lot lately, that there's no timeline on commitment. If you're gold, you're a leader. If you're silver, you're a leader. No matter what, I'm talking about saying I'm a leader and I am committed to Plexus. And that's not I'm a leader and I'm committed to Plexus for 2 months or 3 months or 6 months, or if I'm diamond in 2 years, I'm committed. Y'all, people work jobs for 25 years, sitting in a cubicle next to somebody they don't like, doing a job they don't enjoy, working really hard for somebody else to get rich for 25 years, and they never make 6 figures a month. A year. They never make 6-figure incomes for 25 years of a career, working to make somebody else rich in a cubicle, working for people they don't like, sitting next to people they don't enjoy. But people will walk away from Plexus because they don't get where they want to get in 6 months. I cannot imagine not being willing to commit to Plexus for 3 years to get to Emerald. Beth, would you, if it had taken us 3 years to get there, would you still work as hard as we work now to get there?
I mean, absolutely. Like seriously, that's what, and that's one thing I don't get.
Mhm.
We know, first off, we know the lives that have been changed in every form and fashion, whether it be
Right.
health, whether it be financial. I believe socially people's lives have been changed as well. I believe in so many different ways. First off, but that right there would help me do it the rest of my life.
Right.
Even if I didn't get paid another dime, I would preach Plexus the rest of my life because of that right there.
Right. Yeah, and it just blows my mind though that people just walk away because they don't have those blinders on. They're not where they want to be, and I'm like, keep doing what you've always done, and and you're going to keep getting what you've always gotten. So you got to make that decision.
I have a college degree. I would never, ever, ever make the money that I'm making doing anything else. Probably like if I worked until retirement age, I would have never made anywhere near what I'm making right now.
Right.
Or anywhere near what I was making even probably back when I was senior Ruby. Honestly,
Right. Same here.
The opportunity is so real and you cannot get frustrated. You can't compare to how fast we went. You can't compare to how fast somebody else went. Everybody's journey is different. And if all quitting is going to do is going to make you not ever be successful. I mean, that's
right. Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, you got to just like I said, be committed to be committed. Don't put a timeline on your commitment or you're not committed. I mean, you can say all day long, that's lip service.
Right. And you can't quit when it gets tough. I mean, we all have ups and downs. I say it all the time. It's a roller coaster. I promise, guys, I've had people quit. I've had people, my points go all different kinds of ways. But did that make me quit or did that make me fight harder? I guarantee it made me fight harder. And it is a roller coaster. There are going to be challenges. You give me any job that doesn't have a challenge, that you can make that kind of money. I mean, it happens. This is an amazing, amazing opportunity, but how you handle the hard times is what's going to prove your success as a leader. That's what I truly believe. So
yeah, me too. And the next point is realize that leaders can be developed. That's another question that you had, so I'm not going to harp on that one very much, but I will say I have developed into a better leader. Beth can attest to that. When she first joined me, and my first leaders that joined me, I mean, y'all, I didn't know what I was doing. I knew I believed in the products. I knew that I had success with the product, but I wasn't a leader like I should have been. None of us were. But leadership can be developed, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But my very last point on characteristics of a leader are always be willing to grow and develop. Double diamond over here. I allow at least 20 to 30 minutes. I would love to allow more, but my schedule just doesn't allow it, of personal growth every single day. Always, if you think, man, I've got this, you're mistaken. If you think that there's no room for improvement on your leadership skills, you're mistaken. If I say, man, I'm double diamond, I got this, you know what? Pride cometh before a fall, first of all. So I know that I am always looking to grow and develop, whether it's through reading, whether it's through watching videos. I listen to videos every single morning while I'm getting ready. My poor children have listened to the 4-Color Personality book, the Tom Big Al Schreider book so many times that we'll meet someone and like we walk away and Maddie Grace will be like, oh my gosh, she is so green. Or, oh my gosh, she is so blue. So, I mean, we're doing what we can to continue to grow and develop, even at the point where I'm at. So just know that's going to be so huge for your success to continue to grow and develop yourself.
Absolutely. And even when we were talking earlier today, it's funny because I was even saying in 2 years, like how I've grown, like how I have changed. And I've really seen some things that I would have never been able to do or been confident enough to do 2 years ago, but it is all learning and growing. And I learn from everybody. You can learn from all different kinds of people. And so do whatever it takes to keep learning. I absolutely agree with that.
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so this kind of goes on with that. And I just want you to touch on, is there a certain type of person that can or cannot lead? I mean, I think that becoming a leader, as soon as you become a Plexus ambassador, that you need to become a leader. And, some people will say, well, I'm just silver, or I just have one ambassador, so I'm not a leader. bull to that is what I say.
Yeah.
I really believe that you should be a leader starting off. And so what do you think? Do you think there is somebody that could not or should not be a leader?
I'll say this, and this is, not rocket science. There are some people that are definitely natural born leaders, and there are some people that it certainly is easier for. But that being said, go back to what we were just talking about. Through books, through videos, through training, through having a mentor and coaching. Y'all, if you don't have a mentor, you need a mentor. I will tell you right now, huge part of my leadership skills and a huge part of my success is having a dad and a husband that I consider my mentors. If you don't have someone that close to you, find someone. Y'all, you can have people mentor you. Sarah Marble talks about this all the time. She's one of my very good friends in this business. She thought of Sarah Robbins as her mentor way before they ever knew each other, way before any of us had ever met Sarah Robbins. She looked to her for guidance. She looked to her for how she wanted to run her business. You guys, you can follow leaders in this company. You can follow leaders on Instagram, on all forms of social media. Periscope is a great way to follow leaders and really learn and glean from their knowledge. They may not even know that they're your mentor, and that's okay. But you can learn so much from them. So, that's a long answer to, yeah, I think anyone can be a leader. I think through personal growth and development, through building that belief in yourself. We talk a lot about building belief in the products and building belief in the company, but you've got to start with that belief from within to have the success. But I do believe anyone can be a leader with the right tools, and the right drive.
Right. And at what level in Plexus would you consider someone a leader?
I consider you a leader when you show me that you're a leader. I'll tell you this, I've got people with huge teams that may not be the leaders that they should be. And I have silvers that I see as leaders because they lead their team well. So, I don't think there's a rank where you should see yourself as a leader. I think you sign that contract that you're going to be a Plexus ambassador, and you sign your first ambassador up, and you're a leader, period. It doesn't mean you're leading well, but it means you are a leader to that team of two, yourself and that person that's under you, So, obviously the bigger your team gets, the more of a time commitment, you're going to have with leading your team.
Absolutely.
But I certainly don't. Do you agree with me? I don't think there's any kind of numbers game on when you see yourself as a leader.
I absolutely believe with you. And to me, it's really exciting to see some of the people coming up that are great leaders and how they're handling things. And I love when I get a spark and I'm like, oh, that person is is a good leader and is going to be amazing, when their team does get larger. So I absolutely agree with that.
I do too. And I think that when you see someone on your team, whether they signed up yesterday, whether they're silver, gold, wherever they are, at the beginning of their journey, and you see someone and you see leadership in them, you see greatness in them, pouring into them and telling them, hey, Beth, listen, you're starting on this journey. I want you to know I see you as a leader in this company.
Right.
That affirmation is huge. I don't mean say it to everyone. We all have people on our team that are going to get their auto shipments every month, and they may post once a week, and they may go silver and then never do anything ever again.
Yep.
That's okay. Our comp plan is set up that way. You can't hate on those people. But when I sign up someone and I know they have a sphere of influence, I know they're leaders in other areas of their life, whether it's church or whatever other career they're in, or PTA, whatever. I see them as a leader. I'm going to pour into them. I'm going to let them know from the beginning I see them as one of my runners.
Well, and it's funny that you say that because I know when I first started, we all know that I did not have any intention of doing this whatsoever. And I remember you telling me that. You were like, it may not have even been at first, I don't remember what it was, but you're like, I knew that you could do this, and I knew that you did have circles of friends and stuff like that. And so you knew what I didn't know. And so I think that that's huge if you see somebody, even in your farther down line, that you see that they have that and that they can have that, to let them know that. And you're right, to pour into them. And it's funny because on this first page that I'm looking at, there's two girls in particular that totally, and they probably totally know that I'm talking to them, that I saw that and I'm like, y'all can do this. And so you find those people and you pour into them, because sometimes like me, I didn't believe I could do this. I didn't know that I was even going to do this, but I didn't believe I could. But Celeste saw what I didn't see. And so she believed that I could do it. And she was right.
I couldn't agree with you more about, pouring into your downline. You've got to set some boundaries because we're only one person and, and as your team grows, there's only so much you can do. But, a good example of you saying going on down is, I went to lunch with a girl in your downline this week. I think she's my level 4 or 5, Vicki Mason Brown. She's on your team. And I saw that in her just from the little bit of interaction that we've had. So at this stage in the game, I want to see everybody succeed. I don't care what level they are. Absolutely. If I see greatness in you, I want to pour into you to whatever degree that I can.
Right.
Obviously, the bigger your team gets, that looks a little bit different, because I've got my hands full with my level 1s. But, every once in a while, you see greatness in someone way in your downline. And you know what? That's what fills up our cup now. That's what does it for us, is watching people succeed no matter where they fall on our team.
Absolutely. I could not agree more with that. And that's it. I feel like they're all my little babies, and like I'm a mama, and they're like, when they do good, like
yay.
And they could be like my mom's age, but they're still my little babies. And when they I'm like, woo, it's a party. So anyway, yeah. Okay, awesome. Okay. How do you get your leaders accountable for their downline?
Yeah, I mean, that's a hard question, but the thing that comes to mind is basically, you are accountable. When you sign up for Plexus and you click that last button to become an ambassador, you have committed to leading your team. And it goes back to that moral thing, integrity, moral compass. To me, man, you've got to do it. You've signed up and you've committed that you will. So when you start building your team, I mean, I will tell you right now, I'll get real with y'all. And there's probably nobody on this call that does this because, you know what, if you're on this call, you're committed to your business. But check collectors, man, they get in my craw like nobody's business. And, it's the nature of this business. It happens. But I personally think if you are collecting a check every month, it is your moral obligation to train your team. It is your moral obligation to be there for your team, to help them and to help them succeed. It's a moral issue for me. I know there are people that disagree. Like I said, they're probably not on this call, because if you're on this call, then you're committed to your team and you're committed to your business and you're committed to being a better leader. But, that's just the way I feel about it. If you've got a team, you've got to lead. And, and hopefully, through duplication, right? I hope you see what I'm doing. Absolutely. And you do it. And then your level 1 see how you're leading and they do it. And it trickles on down. And duplication is huge, for equipping people to be leaders. Do what I do. And hopefully I'm leading well, and that's going to trickle down.
Well, I think that's so huge because, like I said, I didn't know I could do it, and I didn't even know where to start. And so what do? I did what you did. I remember meeting you for lunch, me and you and Alicia, but after Alicia signed on at Blue Goose, and we were like, what do I do? And we all figured
that was kind of scary that I was an expert at that point. I think I'd been an ambassador for grand total of 10 days or something. I don't know.
It was pretty fast. So anyways, it was funny. But yeah, I mean, that's how you learn. You do. You need to be duplicatable. I get that everybody's personality is different, and so being duplicatable you can be duplicatable and be duplicatable in your way. You know what I mean?
It's really different.
You need to take, but do it in how you can do it in your personality. I mean, at that point, I was working 2 jobs. You weren't working, and so we were both busy moms, and so I was trying to do the things that you did in the way that I could do them. And so that's a lot different back then than it does now, obviously.
You know what? And that's one reason when, I do a whole talk about my daily method of operation. And I really make sure that when I'm sharing my DMO, I let everyone know this is going to look different for everyone.
Right.
Your DMO doesn't have to look like mine. I guarantee you, Jen Hawkins, who's my Diamond Emerald upline, she's got a 2.5 or 3-year-old, a baby, and one on the way. her DMO looks really different from my DMO.
Yeah, right.
But we're still trying to be duplicatable in that we're doing the same stuff daily, even though it looks different, you know?
Absolutely. I agree 100%. Absolutely. So yeah. But yeah, I would have had no clue what to do if it weren't for you. So
that's kind of scary.
No.
But it looks like it worked out for us okay.
We're good, I think. We got it. Okay. The next one. As a leader, how do you get those ambassadors engaged that say, I want to work the business, but never respond, never comment, or never participate in extra business building activities? Sorry.
All right. I don't know if you're gonna like this answer.
I know what you're gonna say, because I would say the same thing.
I don't. That's my answer. I don't. You know, what I've found over the course of the last 2.5 years is you cannot want it bad enough for someone. You guys, this is like that whole, what do I know now that I wish I would have known then? I wanted it so bad for everyone that joined my team in the beginning. And I tried to do the work for them, and I tried to want it for them. And you can't, you know, I mean, if people are not motivated by watching me lose 35 pounds, by watching me gain the financial freedom that they see, you know, they see that I've gained, they can't be motivated, y'all. I mean, let me encourage you. I have people on my team, level ones, that are very close to me, that they know my life. They know what Plexus has done for me, both health-wise and financial-wise, and they get their auto shipment every single month. Those people cannot be motivated. If I cannot, I don't mean like I'm so amazing. I'm saying there's proof in the pudding. I'm the pudding. I'm living it. You know, they see that I'm double diamond. They see our lifestyle. They see how healthy we are, and they don't want it. Some people cannot be motivated, but let me tell you what, run with your runners. You find your people that want it. The people that are on this call, you guys are runners. The fact that you're taking time out of your day at 10:30 in the middle of the morning, you guys are the runners. Pour into those people that show you that they want it. 80% of your time should be spent with 20% of your top producers. Does that make sense? 80% of your time should be spent on 20% of your team. Y'all, I'll tell you what, I'm preaching to the choir right now, because I don't know about you, Beth, but I get bogged down, and sometimes that gets reversed. Yeah. And I'm spending, you know, all my time on people that are not showing me that they want it, because I'm wanting it for them. So run with your runners, pour into your people that want it. You know, don't desert your other people. You know, have them on your team page. Check in with them. You never know when something that you post on your team page or on your personal wall might spark interest. I've had lots and lots of people that didn't sign up to work this business, including Beth, including myself. Something got our attention, though, and we realized we saw the opportunity. So I don't mean you desert your people that say they want it but aren't doing anything, but never, ever feel guilty for pouring into your people that want it.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. And one more thing I do want to add to that, you know, so many times we do get bogged down, and you're right. So many times I feel like it is flipped that, you know, but I have to realize that, yes, I do want to keep in contact with those people, because what if, and you know, and I know we've seen it, maybe like 6 months down the road, somebody does be like, oh, I can do this now, or whatever, or something has changed in their life. And so it has happened for sure. So don't ever just completely like, you know, dismiss them 100%. But I know when I am working with my ones that want it, my business is growing a lot more than it is when I'm wasting my time on, not wasting my time, but wasting my business hours. If I spent trying to beg people to do it that aren't going to do it, I would not be nearly having the growth that we are. I would be more worried about that. When I flip it and work one-on-one with the ones that do want it, and how can we do this and how can we move forward, that's when the growth occurs. So you can't want it for some people. And some people you think would be amazing at this don't want it. It doesn't mean you can be amazing at it, but if you don't want it and you don't see it and you don't believe in it, belief is the biggest thing, then it's never going to happen. And, you know, that's something that I have had to learn. And it was a hard thing for me, because you want it for everyone.
You do. And, you know, I'll tag on to that. If you're on the call and you're like, man, I don't know that I have anybody that wants it right now, go spread your nets a little bit wider and find people that do want it. Do not continue trying to pour into the ones that don't. Go find your runners. They may not, they're probably not on your team yet. If you feel like you're spinning your wheels and nobody's engaging and nobody's wanting to work it like you are, make it a point to go silver this month. Make it a point to train those 3 so that they can go silver and have success and duplicate what you're doing. But find your runners if they're not already on your team. Don't be discouraged. Be encouraged. They're still out there somewhere.
Absolutely. And I think one thing you just said too, get those 3 and train them. As soon as you get a level 1, you have got to pour into them and train them. And this is something that I have learned on down the road somewhat. I maybe because at the beginning I didn't feel like I knew what I was doing enough to train people. But I mean, you sign them up and you get there and you train them and you plan that launch party, or, have them set that date for that launch party and you do it. You get them engaged, because as soon as the quicker they find that belief and see the potential, the quicker that their team's going to grow.
Yes.
So, I agree 100%. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So this I know you said the 80-20, but like when you, how often do you check in with your level 1s? Is it different?
Yeah, it's different. It's that whole, pouring in the ones that want it. If I have somebody sign up and they go, okay, so listen, I've got my mom and my sister buying a product for me just because I want to pay for my own product, but I'm not working this business. I go, okay, well, listen, if you change your mind, I'm here. I'm going to add you to my team page. If you decide you see something that you're attracted to in this business, I'm going to be here to train you. So, I've got some that I don't check in with every week. I've got some newbies that I talk to every single day. I've got some that I talk to multiple times a day, level 1s, because that's, like I said, you only have so many hours in a day and we're preaching Plexus freedom. So we better live it, we better set some boundaries and office hours and stuff like that. So I do, I really try to talk to my level 1s as much as they need me. I certainly will check in with them pretty often, especially in the beginning. Hey, have you done this? Have you done this? That kind of rolls into that next question about what do you give to new ambassadors?
Right.
That's when I'm checking in with them the most, is when they're first getting started.
Right. Right.
So, I'm asking them to make their list of 100. I'm asking them to do their coming out post on Facebook of their hope, if they haven't used the product, their hope of what's to come. I'm asking them to go silver. I'm saying, man, you get your mama, your sister, and your best friend on board, you can do this. So I'm asking them to go silver pretty quickly and then train those people to go silver. I'm asking them to follow leaders. And I'm using the word follow because so many of us leaders in Plexus, we're maxed out on our friends requests. I know it's silly, but we have a limit of 5,000. So I'm having to decline people every day. Whereas if they knew that they could just follow us, they can follow us, emulate us, watch what we're doing, and lead very well just by doing that. So I'm encouraging them to follow leaders. I'm tagging them on different videos on YouTube, opportunity meetings, some John Maxwell, Les Brown type stuff that's just motivational. And then obviously some videos that are done by Sarah Marble, myself, Sonia Dudley, anything like that I think is going to educate them. And then the last thing is I'm encouraging them to read testimonials. And if they have specific issues, I am going and I'm finding testimonials and I'm texting those to them all day long. I mean, until they tell me to stop, because I'm trying to build that belief in them from the very beginning before they've even had success with the product. So often we have people join that have never even used the product. Yeah. So I'm also coaching them. Yeah, me. Yeah, it's so many on my team. I'm coaching them to success with the product, at the same time. Yeah. Don't forget that. That's important.
I think another huge thing, and this is something that I really have started, more so and really encouraging and doing whatever I can, is getting a date for that launch party. These launch parties,
huge.
And guys, I'm not talking about you need 100 people at your launch party. Plan it. Let's do it at your house. If you can get 5 people at your launch party, that's 5 people that they can hear somebody speak. Like I'm going to one in a couple weeks for one of my new level 1s. People will hear the excitement. Get in front of people. Getting in front of people. Stop hiding behind your computer. Get in front of people. People can hear and see your excitement. So these launch parties, they've been hugely successful. I mean, even on this Zoom, there's tons of people that we've done them for, and they really, really help. Because yes, you can text.
Absolutely.
Somebody, you can email somebody, and that's great. You should do that. But you flip it and you get in personal communication with them, and they can see what you believe and they can hear what you believe. And so I think that's huge too. Okay. Um, let's go on. We're still good. Didn't get on time. What does your work week look like? I'm going to kind of skip over a couple and we'll go back if we have time, but I wanted to get to a couple more. Sorry.
I'm looking for
I didn't mean to throw you off.
No, you're good. You're good. I picked up my phone because I think I've got a better signal. Like I'm holding it up. So can you hear me good?
Yeah, we can hear you either way.
Okay, cool. So my week is, I mean, I literally put in all caps crazy, and then I put but flexible. So I mean, let me burst your bubble maybe a little bit. And me and Beth, we work really hard. We don't treat this like it's a hobby. We didn't ever go into this thinking we were going to win the lottery. We didn't go into this going, I'm going to get a couple people on my team and I'm just going to sit back and, lay by the pool. I mean, don't get me wrong. We do a lot of that. So we work really hard, but we have very flexible schedules. So that's the beauty of Plexus Freedom. Plexus Freedom is not, I don't work hard. I mean, everyone that's successful in this business works hard, but it's working hard with the freedom and the flexibility to have other things that are more important, like our families be the most important thing and fitting Plexus in the nooks and crannies of our lives. So, my day is spent a lot more managing ambassadors. If I'm just keeping it real, it's been a lot more training. I actually told Andrew night before last, I really want to get back into the business of recruiting. That's what brings me joy. Recruiting and building my team, that's what brings me joy. And I still do that. I'm trying with every ounce of me to do 5-3-1 every day. I'm trying to give out 5 business cards. I'm following up with at least 3 people. And I joke because we say 5-3-1. And I would say for the leaders, it probably looks a little bit more like 5-3-56, or 5-3-22. I mean, because we're spending a lot more time training. I do a lot of going to lunch with people. I love, I'm successful in this business because I love relationships. And Beth said something earlier that I want to reiterate. I love relationships. Therefore, I've got to get out from behind my computer to be successful in this business. I find that so many people say they're working their business. And when you kind of dive a little bit deeper, they're playing on Facebook all day. So I don't want to be real harsh with y'all, but getting on Facebook for 2 hours a day is not working your business. I allow myself 20 minutes every single morning when I've got my dog sitting in my lap, and that's my fun time. That's my nosy, what's Beth doing this week? That's my how's so-and-so's kid doing, and, football. That's whatever I want to do for that 20 minutes. That is not working my business. Hear me again. That is not working my business. I'm on Facebook. I'm wishing people happy birthday. I'm responding to messages, but I'm very purposeful with my time on Facebook.
I think that part is very important. What you just said is because how are we going to engage new people on Facebook? Because yes, I do think it's very important to still do Facebook, but do Facebook and move on. But you do still need to, like what you said, spend that 20 minutes, engage others that are not your Plexus people so that they will engage with you. So
100%. That's why that birthday wish and going and posting on people's pages, your kids are so cute and all that stuff, that is working your business to a degree because that's helping those people show back up in your newsfeed, Right. So I guess what I'm trying to say is my day is not playing on Facebook. It's engaging people. It's going to coffees. It's meeting with the ambassadors to train them. It's doing these kind of Zoom calls and phone calls. I do Thursdays. I usually do all day long from about 9 to 2, 30-minute back-to-back sessions of training my team. It didn't happen today because I just got back into town, but that's what a usual Thursday looks like for me is 9 to 2, 9 to 2:30, back-to-back phone calls, doing some 3-ways with newbies, encouraging folks, helping people troubleshoot, get through issues. So my day looks different, a lot of the times. And y'all, I mean, let me throw this out there again. I'm a full-time mom. So, I know Beth's about to head up to the school after this. My kids both have soccer games this afternoon, and then I go to theater. But y'all, guess what I'm doing? I'm there for my kids, but I'm also networking. At everything I go to, I'm widening my nets. I'm sitting next to new people at soccer games. I'm prop mom for Maddie Grace's play because I get to engage with every single person that volunteers to donate a prop. So I'm engaging people all day long. So I think engagement is probably the biggest word that you can take away from what my day looks like. Is I love people and I'm constantly engaging and I'm constantly trying to build my nets and, cast my nets wider. I have to, even at this point.
Right. And I want to touch on something else you said, and I know that you do this, and I do this a lot too with my people locally. And I try to get over to my old locally life as much as I can.
You do a great job.
But so many people think that when you're doing a training, that means you're sitting here on a Zoom, or you have this like meeting room full of like 100 people and you have this huge PowerPoint. Okay, guys, like I do that. Y'all know that I do that, and I love that. But you know what I love more is going to lunch one-on-one, or going to lunch with 3 of my ambassadors. And hey, what do you need help with? What are you struggling with? What can we do? Well, yesterday I went to lunch with a girl out here. We're planning a launch party. Make it fun. I mean, we go to lunch like every day. I mean, seriously, there are weeks.
It is fun, yeah.
I have a lunch, but I'm working my business. I'm talking to one, it could be a potential. I'm talking to a friend about why I love Plexus. Or you know what? Guess what? Don't forget your friends that don't do Plexus, because Monday I went to lunch with a couple friends. One has used Plexus before and doesn't anymore. The other one's never used it. Well, guess what? They want to know what I'm doing in Plexus. Like, it's still going to come up, right? So, when we say, yes, I do think it's very important to do trainings, like and have PowerPoints, but not every training has to look like this.
Absolutely.
It could be going and getting coffee, or sitting in the carpool line with one of your ambassadors that just needs a pep talk. I mean, It can be so many different things. And so that's what I love. Like, I love that this business isn't black or white. Like, it doesn't have to be this way or that way, because I guarantee if you're sitting in a cubicle, it has to be this way or that way.
Right.
It doesn't. And so make it fun, engage, have a social dinner with your team. I think those are hugely important, because guess what? If you're sitting with a bunch of Plexus people, I'm pretty sure you might talk about Texas Tech football if you're at mine, but I'm pretty sure that most of that time is going to be spent on Plexus. I'm just saying, we still have fun, but I guarantee that Plexus is going to be talked about a whole lot. So just make it look however it needs to be to look like. But that's, I think too, is a great leadership skill, is making it look like whatever it needs to look like for you. So
I agree.
That's just my opinion, but I don't know if you think that as well, but I think
I do 100%.
But it's relationships. And I think that, we've talked about this before. I mean, that's the people that build these relationships are successful, so it was okay. So you're double diamond, and you're double diamond, and like, did you hit it in less than 2 years, didn't you?
2 years. Yeah. A little less.
So what are your goals now?
My goals look really different now. I touched on it a little bit earlier. What fills up my cup is watching my team succeed. It's why we do these events. It's why we do these calls. It's why we do these one-on-one lunches that you're talking about. I want to help mommies stay home with their babies. I want to help daddies work less. I want to help people have a better quality of life. So, those are my goals, is just to help my team succeed. I've got huge goals, for giving. I've got huge goals for giving to my church, for giving to missions. Y'all know my dad is a part-time missionary in Africa, has been my whole life. That's our heart. That's our passion. Nothing is more rewarding to me than being able to give back there and knowing that lives are changed because of Plexus and the financial end, And, my very, very personal goal is just to be a more engaged parent and a more engaged wife. We've made some big sacrifices in the last year, but y'all, my goal right now is really to kind of start enjoying some of the residual income. It doesn't mean I'm not going to work hard. I'm still working really, really hard. I'm going to continue to train and build, but I'm also going to take some time off. I'm going to enjoy my family, and I'm going to be present with my family. And, like I said, I made some big sacrifices in the beginning. There were times that we were working, till 10, 11 p.m., and I did that because I saw the potential and I knew I wanted that residual income. But I'll tell y'all right now, I mean, most days, if you ask me a Plexus question after 6 p.m., you're going to hear back from me the next morning after my kiddos go to school. So, my goals are kind of a little bit different in that now I'm working on really enjoying the lifestyle, continuing to train, continuing to build, but having some boundaries. It was worth the sacrifice. Hear me out. If you're just getting started, y'all, I didn't watch TV for a year. Okay. I did not, I deleted Candy Crush from my phone. That's striking a nerve with somebody out there right now that's on, I didn't quit playing games, 2048. I didn't play that. I miss some soccer games. I miss some theater rehearsals. I miss some things for my kids. But listen, my final thought is hear me out. I lived it, and I'm telling you now, it's worth the sacrifice to have what we have now. And I don't just mean the stuff. I mean, for my kids to see their mama can be successful,
Right.
While still being a full-time mom. For my kids to know that there's something else that's important to me. It's okay for your kids not to be the center of the universe. My kids have grown so much by saying that I have something else that's important. They still know they're the most important thing to me, but they've grown so much. They've matured so much. So it's been worth the sacrifice. But now I'm kind of at the point where I kind of want to enjoy it. I'm setting some office hours. I'm stepping away a little bit. I'm traveling less. I'm only traveling 3 to 4 days a month. And it's because I enjoy it. I don't have to travel. That's fun for me. That fills my cup. I love to travel. So, and I love to pour into my team. So just to see my team succeed and continue to be a good mama and a better mama and a better wife. Those are kind of my goals for now.
That's awesome. I totally agree 100%. And I know that, anybody that knows me know that my boys and Scott are my heart and my wife for just about anything and everything. And I adore them. I don't want to miss anything that they have. But guess what? If I miss a basketball game, and I told Celeste this the other day, in fact, she's having a Christmas party for her level ones. And I want to go so bad. And Luke had a basketball game, and I was willing, okay, I'll miss that basketball game because, he has a bunch of sports games. But Jake ended up having a Christmas concert that night. And so I get like once a year things. Obviously, I'm not going to miss the one program of the year that he's going to be in. But I was going to give up that basketball game. And so you do have to figure it out. But I know that there's kids. My kids play 3 different sports. There's always some game going on. And do I want to miss them? I don't want to miss them. I want to be at every one. But I promise you, just like she said, the sacrifice for that one game that I'll see 5 more in the next 2 weeks.
Right. It's worth it.
It's so worth it. And my kids get that. They're like, it's okay, Mom. And I stress out more about it than they do. I'm like, are you sure? But they're like, Mom, it's fine. And I think that they see that we get to do a whole lot of fun stuff that we would have never gotten to do if I didn't sacrifice or if I didn't travel. It was like Celeste said, I'm trying to keep my nights away, whether it be a Zoom or whether it be out somewhere to 2 nights a week, because it is about my family and there is freedom in this. And so you do have to set boundaries. But for a while, I was gone a lot more than I would like to have been. But now I get to reap those rewards and those little sacrifices that I still didn't miss a whole lot of their games, but I did miss one here or there. Now I'm getting to enjoy so much more. They've gotten to go to Hawaii with me. We're getting to do things. It's not just about the trips. I'm home. I was working 2 part-time jobs, and so I could still be there to pick them up from school. But when I pick them up from school now, I'm home. We're home. Right. It's not. I'm not having to do anything else. So yeah, there is sacrifice, but the reward outweighs it so much. And I promise you, if you will do that, in the end, you will look back and be like, I missed an hour game, and it's okay. They survived. I'm not saying miss every game. Y'all know I'm all over you. I see pictures all the time. You post how cute my little boys are playing their sports. But I have missed a game every once in a while.
Absolutely.
Anyways, and I will say this: if there is an event like Super Saturday coming up,
get there
like that, that would be a game to miss. I'm just saying. So you get to those events. If 100%. You're 5-6 hours away, you get in a car and you get to those events. It will change your business. So, anyway, okay. So this I probably should have asked this, earlier on, but I think we should probably close with this one. And I know we didn't get to a couple of them, but we've got to get.
That's okay. Yeah, we got to hop on another call in 11 minutes.
I know. So let's do this one, but I do want to get to this one. And this one, I just want you to the definition of what does it mean to take ownership of your team? What does that mean? Obviously, you should become a leader. What are other things that you should do? Like, how do you understand? Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I think taking ownership of your team, there's several things that come to mind. The first thing is you're going to start building a team culture, and you're responsible for the culture that your team takes on. I've got different teams, and they all have different personalities, and most of them, it trickles down from who their leader is, and that's where that positivity comes in. That's when, if your faith is important to you, that comes in, where that's going to play into how you lead your team and the culture that your team builds. So team culture is huge, and you're responsible for that. as far as, I also think that we would be remiss not to talk about team pages. That's going to be a massive, massive part of your success, and, I've got people that get started and they go, well, I'm just going to add them to DDD because, oh my gosh, you post everything in there and all those files are there and it's a busy page and there's always good information and it's so motivating and it's this and it's that. But it's also overwhelming. It's overwhelming to me, so I know it'd be overwhelming to a newbie. You want your team to see you as a leader. So you having a team page and the motivation coming from you, the guidance and the direction coming from you is going to make your team see you as their leader. I mean, they're going to see me and they're going to see Beth, and you can add them to our pages if you want to. You should definitely be going to our pages and transferring over important information to your team page. But I mean, I tell people, man, I would encourage you, when you go silver, start a team page. Let me tell you, it's going to be lonely and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, it's embarrassing. I've posted in there every day this week and nobody's done anything. There's no engagement, but the more you build, you'll start to see that people will start engaging. And they're going to already know that you're their leader. So I would say second you go silver, you start a team page. And you engage on there, you motivate on there, you educate on there, and your team sees you as a leader, and that's going to help you be successful in this business when you do that. You're running contests. That's going to be part of building that team culture. And, those contests, y'all, $10 gift card to Target. I'm not saying like you got to be giving away iPads and new cars. Or whatever. I mean, you can do some contests that are going to build that sense of community. It's going to go a really long way with your team, whether they're contests about education, motivation, building, PV, whatever you want those to be, whatever is important to you. But you got to do it, build your team culture, and the best way to do that is through a team page.
Yeah, I agree. And, I've started, at first my contests were so much of, okay, you sign an ambassador because that's what I knew, but so much now because I know how much training is important. Like a lot of times I'll do throw up a post, watch a video today and tell me 3 things you learned and you'll be entered for a drawing. And I mean, it can literally be a $5 water bottle with a Plexus stick on it. It doesn't have to be Plexus. It can be a bottle of pink lotion, so
yeah,
motivate. It helps people maybe do things and maybe helps people think of things that they weren't doing already, to do or whatever.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you. It's really funny because I knew probably what you were going to say to most of these questions. And I thought some of the things you were saying, I was like, okay, I'm like, how many times I've said this or whatever. So it is funny that even though, we, obviously you are my leader and I have a team, but it is. I mean, it's funny how it all goes back to the same core
duplication.
Yeah, I mean, it does. And so anyways, but so guys, we're going to end it on that. We did miss a couple questions that I had, but we have a diamond call that we have to hop on in 7 minutes. But Celeste, I just want to thank you so much again for being on here. Thank you all. I mean, y'all, we had 89 people at one point on this call at 10 o'clock in the morning. And I know that was a sacrifice. We are hopefully getting it recorded and we'll hopefully be able to transfer it over. I've done it once that where it transferred. Sometimes it doesn't. But Kate Tiffany said that she can help me if we can't figure it out for sure. So please be sure and share this on your team pages and make sure your people make it a contest. Watch this call and I'll do a drawing for you. Celeste took her time and Celeste is amazing. And these are all good points. Anyone from just starting off all the way up. And so hey, Kathy and Diane. So anyways, just make it a point to share this whenever I get it uploaded. I will try to do it right now, maybe later this evening when I get it done, but I will try my hardest. So anyways, thank y'all again. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. It's next week. Yeah. I can't believe it. Thanksgiving break. Y'all know I love break. So anyways, Celeste, I'm always like, is it summer yet? Is it summer yet? Or whatever.
I'm ready.
I know you're the same way then. So anyways, but thanks again, y'all, and we will see y'all later. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Yay.